can see like how many tickets are open, how many solved, right? How many solved by bot, which means like how many are already automated. And some are again solved by user, as in again, whoever is assigned from your support team manually basically reached out and closed the ticket.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Down and Dirty. And today I have with me Juhi. She is a strategy and operations manager at Galleri5. She's a growth marketer by profession, and someone who's a graduate from BITS Pilani and has been doing this now for over 5 years. I want to say almost 7 years now, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And Juhi, it's great to have you on the show. I'm interested in knowing, obviously, your experience, in using tools and leveraging them to do a better job as a growth marketer. But welcome aboard. Is there anything that you want to add to your introduction before we jump right in?
I mean, thank you, Tapsi, first of all, to start with, for having me on this podcast. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally excited and looking forward to it, like how exactly how this goes, and we'll be obviously talking a lot about, and looking forward to it. Super excited.
Very cool. Okay, so let's just jump right in, and let's start with you telling me a little bit about what a day in your life looks like. And when I say a day in your life, I literally mean what time do you wake up, get out of bed, to what time do you clock in to work, what time do you clock out of work, and when does the day actually end for you?
Sure. Okay, that's a little tricky question. But again, so we again, I start off with like if I go very deep down, again, I'm a person who more like tries to manage everything, starting from my diet to my routine to my office work, and then putting myself to bed. So I don't like, I'm not a person who would need like a lot of help, right? I just feel that there are some things that I do it myself is correct. So I'm that kind of a person. So I started with again like making my breakfast, packing my lunch, and again like my household comes in the morning. So that's she's my alarm clock actually. That's how I wake up. And after that, I just move on, packing, rushing to my office. I reach almost office. I start almost at 9:30, and I just start with generally catching up people, catching up with people at my table, like how's the day, how did you do, how did you like, all of that. Just because it just gives a morning kick in, just give a little good vibe in general, a positive energy. And yeah, before I start working, I just have quick catch ups with all the tasks that I need to probably cover on priority. So there are a lot of things that a person has to do. Like some are into planning stage, some are into to be probably executed in some execution stage. Some are like to be submitted on priority today by end of the day, or probably at 12 or 1. So I start my day with probably prioritizing all the things that I have in my plate, and obviously coordinating with my team in terms of who is going to help me in what, and how things are going to move ahead. So that's a planning phase. And I mean, I just feel that the planning part that I do for myself, my 30 minutes, 45 minutes, is just like what I need, right, to be more confident, and so that there is no last minute something that I'm missing on. I do always have something to note, like probably a notepad or a keynote in my on my laptop, right? So these things actually make my life a little easier in terms of putting all things together and delivering things on time. Then at the same time, I do have my small catch up calls with my, again, some people working from home. So we are in hybrid. So we do have a lot of virtual calls as well, and as well in person calls. So I do need to catch up with in terms of where everybody is, like if there are some roadblocks, some issues that's coming on, I might have to jump in, right? So I try to clear those as well in my beginning of the day, right? Because nobody is dependent on me. Things, people are moving ahead, right? So that everybody completes the task smoothly on time. So that's actually a lot of. Then we have lunch. So lunch is really amazing because I do share company with a lot of people who are foodie like me. So,
Okay.
so yeah, there is like a good mix of veg, non-veg food on table, salads. So yeah, I love my lunch hours. So those are good.
Okay.
And so our office is located luckily in a very good place where we can have good walks. So it's like a lot of trees are surrounded by a lot of trees, pavements, and everything. So after lunch, we just have like 30 minutes walk, which gives me again a refresher because after you eat, you feel a little lethargic, right? You feel like,
Yeah.
I just need to sleep. So we do take the walks help like in fact all of my like team members, we all go and have a good walk like for
Yeah.
around 30 minutes. Then we get back on a table and then we again get back to our work. Yeah, majorly this. And by end of the day, I do drop out a lot of updates wherever required. Like this is my progress, submit whatever is on timeline, right? And if for some reason I'm not able to submit on timeline, I also like specifically mention like the reason for delayed and all that. So I like to keep my work very transparent in general. Either if it's with the internal members or with clients. So yeah, that's I just feel if I'm a little bit more transparent in terms of my work with my internal and client folks, I just feel more confident and yeah, that's about it.
It seems, I mean, the word that comes to mind is mindful. And it's so interesting to hear. I think it's the first time I'm hearing of someone talk about as a team, you're actually doing an activity outside of the office, when it involves something like going for a walk. And that is so important for our mind, our body, our soul, and then to get back to work. So that's why this word comes to mind. So tell me something in the vein of what I just said. What are some enablers that allow you to do your job better? And they could be something personal. It could also be something environmental or around you.
Sure. I think one you just mentioned, right? Having frequent breaks, right? In general, when you said enablers, there I would say there is again one is like enabling yourself, and one is like having an enabling environment, right? There are two things to it. So when you say enabling yourself, that means you would have like good I would say like folks, yeah, or your colleagues or your team, whom you are reporting or whom you're taking work that you can count on, right? So let's say yeah, I mean these people actually help you to perform what you're performing. So
Yes.
if like so when I say if there is a proper planner roadmap that you have created, so each one of like what is, if I'm, for example, let's just give you an instance. For example, anyone wants to probably put something out on social media, right? With respect to a brand or with respect to some announcement, right? So it needs to be designed in such a way that okay, I need to know what is the messaging I want to give. My designer needs to know what is the design the person has to create, right? And the person who is posting it finally know what is the layout format, what is the platform the person is posting to get a maximum reach. So it's like it's not a just a single person to enable. It's like an entire line of folks that will help you to enable your work, right? At least it happens in
Yeah.
my profession. When I say enabling environment, so let's say you should have very, I mean, a person should be surrounded with a very positive folks in general. Or if someone is not, you should always help or probably think or make the person think, that there is a positivity in it, right? Or this will lead to something good, right?
Yeah.
Or if it is not leading, then probably there are other ways that you can think on it, right? Everybody has to do some kind of a dirty work.
Yeah.
It is not always something that everybody wants to do. So I think having surrounded by people who are continuously motivating you, at the same time able to share something with people, right? Like having those set of
Yeah.
folks, those set of bosses, those set of subordinates are very important, where your messaging is not misguided. So I think all of these factors play a very crucial role in enabling your entire expertise, your skill sets, right? So yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
something you see. I mean, it's one thing to say we should have that, but this is something you are experiencing. this setup, what you just talked about, this is what you're experiencing at work?
I have seen it over places. Like I have my even I have my community of friends, some are developers,
Yeah.
some are. So I
Yeah.
feel we feel more enjoyable, more
Yeah.
finally able to do or give their 100%
Yeah.
when they feel that, everybody is, the environment is supporting you to do that.
Yes. Makes
Environment can
sense.
be colleagues, environment can be, again, different types
Yeah.
of you putting yourself in an energetic mode.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah.
And so then on the flip side, Juhi, what are some of the challenges or hurdles or setbacks or constraints that sometimes limit your ability to deliver on your job, to deliver what has to be delivered?
Sure. So I would say, again, so let's say the challenges, I would say it is a very generic one. I think many people would be listening would come. So there are a lot of things that comes on ad hoc, right? Not everything goes as per plan, we all know. So let's say there is some client proposal that came in, and obviously everybody is in a rush to do things, right? Get
Yeah.
things done, right? So there are times, once in a while that comes that, okay, we got to know today and we have to deliver it, day after tomorrow, or
Yeah.
probably tomorrow EOD. So
Hmm.
these are the things where obviously, let's say I can pitch in my work, right? But probably there are more people from whom I need the work to be done, right? Different
Correct.
teams. Either it's a product team, either it's a tech team, right? Or again a designing team, right? So obviously not everybody might have the priority as I have on that
Yeah.
task, right? So I think though that one of the challenges is that you have to get the work, streamlining the work or the workflow gets little difficult when something on an ad hoc comes, right?
Got it.
Let's say second thing I would say is like uh, the changes. So let's say you are not sure while so again here a lot of communication I would say. So it is a gap in communication that actually I would say is not right.
Hmm.
So if you say you are converting, you have seen a lot of videos or in social media that you do some activity in a group, the
Hmm.
communication that A person has and communication that F person will
Yeah.
have is totally
Tiny,
different.
like whispers, right? By the end, what the last person hears is completely different from what the first person said.
Correct, correct.
Right.
And it actually happens in corporate too. So
Yeah.
what you have asked and finally what you get is somehow then the person
Yeah.
has to redo the work, right?
Yeah.
Instead of if that could have done probably properly, it would have been done
Yeah.
on time, right? Or would have given better results. Correct.
Interesting, because now it makes sense why you said something like transparency in the, just a few minutes ago. Because I understand now that if there is Chinese whispers happening at work, right, unintentionally, but it happens, then to have transparency in what the goal is, what the objective is, who's doing what, where are their blockers, that becomes important in order to reduce the risk of Chinese whispers,
Correct.
right? So would I,
Correct.
am I on the right track in terms of
Yes.
trying to connect the dots between?
Yes. Yes. You're right. You're right. Correct. Correct.
So let me ask you this then. What, you know what, actually, I will come back to this. I have a question around Chinese whispers, because I think it's a very interesting point that you brought up. But just for fun, if I had to, look over your shoulder and see, what you're using on any day, like at work, when your computer is open, what would be some go-to applications or products that are always on?
Sure. So I would say again, if I count a lot of things, it's like one of them is would be Canva for me,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Other would be my so I do a lot of ads, paid ads.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of dashboards at each platform, right?
Hmm.
So there is like again my Facebook Meta page, Meta ads page, right? Ads dashboard. Then there is LinkedIn monitoring, right? Again ads monitoring,
Correct.
correct. And then I do have, so I come from an influencer marketing industry, so I do have my influencer marketing, like we have a tools, right? That is also open all time, majorly because I work a lot of lot of in and out with influencers around them, right? So the product helps a lot more in terms of discovering them and getting analytics about them. So yeah, majorly these two, and then there is a WhatsApp, business WhatsApp. So yeah, and MailChimp also at times. Yeah.
And so this is all outward facing. This is obviously to do your job, and to um, uh, put the product out there. And internally, what you're using? What do you have open for internal communications or task management,
Correct.
project management?
So we generally use Slack as a channel internally. So
Okay.
Slack is basically another CRM, I would say. It's
Mm.
like that. It easily helps to start. I would say the good part of using a Slack, what I feel, versus there are also teams I know that they use WhatsApp as internal communication. So it's like you can create multiple channels, right? Multiple channels has in multiple groups, which
Yeah.
can be again further. They can do tasks like you can start an individual level call from the application, or a group level call from the application, right?
Mm.
So it is more like a very streamlined, or you can sharing of files, data,
Yeah.
even for
Yeah.
a tech front, right? Tech and a product front. It is very easier via Slack channel, because it obviously, I think the other channels do have a lot of challenges in terms of the data, the storage, right, the weight of the files, right? So all of this is a challenge when it comes, but I think
Yeah.
I never found anything like any difficulty while using the
Slack.
platforms.
And in addition to Slack, are you using anything else for any other kind of team communication or management of tasks,
Um,
roles?
I mean, like lately I've been using this. Yeah, earlier we did had Notion. Again,
Mm.
Notion is something where you again list a task for different team members. We pick it, we mark it. Right, a lot of it is more like where you have a. I think it will be more useful for a tech and a product perspective, Notion. But when you come from a entire business perspective, right, entire team to team management at a business level, and I think Slack is more entirely like for all the channels, like business, sales,
I see.
for all entire
Got
team. So
Got it. Okay. So, all right. And of these, the range of tools for internal and external um, tasks, jobs, objectives, what which one, I guess, let me put it this way, which one, or name a tool that you can't live without, at least right now in your life, in what you're doing right now with Galleri5. There's something that you absolutely can't live without. It's always on, you're checking in multiple times a day. What's that power user tool?
I think there would be two in my case.
Okay.
One is
Okay.
again WhatsApp Wati, which is
Okay.
you can call it either for business usage, WhatsApp, or and again, it's WhatsApp Wati is basically WhatsApp CRM, I would say. Another
Mm.
one is my other influencer marketing tool. So both these are like they will be always there. And
Got it.
the other one is that is Google Analytics, which
Mm.
is also there, because I also look into in general like a lot of what is happening in our website, how is the performance, coming,
Yeah.
traffic coming. So yeah, majorly these three tools that is always there.
And which is this influencer marketing tool that you mentioned?
So this
What?
is yeah, sorry.
Sorry, what is it called?
It is again influencer marketing CRM.
Okay, but is it an internal thing that you've created, or is it a tool that's out there? What is its name if it's a
So
tool out there?
Gallery5 has its own set of tools.
Its
Uh,
own one. Understood. And that's what I figured. Okay,
and there
ठीक
are
है.
different, so in general, marketers use one of these tools, influencer marketers or heavy marketing folks who are digitally doing a lot of social media marketing. They would have
Mm.
one of these tools, influencer marketing CRM. Either they would have a Gallery 5, or either they would have a similar set of different brand.
Got it. Okay, so you're using Galleri5's influencer marketing. I mean, obviously, your own company's influencer marketing tool, and you have WhatsApp Potty,
Hmm.
right? And
Yes.
Google Analytics.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about WhatsApp Potty. Uh, Give me an example of some of the use cases for that tool? Like, what all are you using it for? Where does it help?
Sure. So this tool I have used for, again, majorly B2C, but I'm
Hmm.
aware that it can be used for both B2B and B2C. But
Hmm.
it is mostly useful where you have, like, let's say you have a lot of tickets incoming, right? Or you are in general doing a lot of broadcast communication,
Hmm.
correct? So, and why this tool, I'll tell you. Broadcast communication, you'll find multiple other tools, not why WhatsApp, Wati, right? You can do it from MailChimp, you can do from other Salesforce. There are many other tools out there where you can share broadcasts, right? But why WhatsApp? Because if you see, your WhatsApp is something that a person has and has most of the, like, it has the highest engagement on your phone or your digital timing spent, right? So a lot of, I mean, it is a best engaging tool with a customer or with a client or
Hmm.
any person out there. So when it comes to, and there are, so basically this tool will give you more like a CRM. So let's say
Hmm.
you want to broadcast. I'll give you a use case. For example, you want to host an event, right?
Hmm.
And you want to, again, you want to take an RSVP as well, collect information, correct? So doing it manually, doing it via email would be a lot of, again, you take the responses, you add to the sheet, right? Yes, no, coming, not
Right.
coming,
Right.
etc., right? Timing, again. But here what you can do is you can basically create a template, right? WhatsApp template, where you can write your event, right? Decorate it in whatever format you want, write
Yeah.
your date, time, and you can also have a click boxes. Yes, no, will you be joining us? Yes and no.
Yeah.
As soon as you say yes or no, your API or your data will basically collect, right? It can be collected to a particular format, like how many folks have said yes and who are the folks who have
Yeah.
said yes, who are the folks who have said no. And there is also, you can put a third option. You can basically put like a MCQ, right? Like, I
Hmm.
want a call back, right? Please
Yeah.
call,
Yeah.
connect
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
contact us.
Yeah.
So this will also, this data also you can collect, right? Or you can all the contact us, whoever has clicked on it. Basically, you can assign all those tickets to your subordinate, to your colleague, right? Or to whoever
Right.
is the support team that you have, correct? So you can
Right.
basically assign tickets with the individual names that you can do. So that,
And it's dedicated for WhatsApp. I mean, it's USP is it is only and only for WhatsApp. So it's, I
correct,
imagine it has all the bells and whistles to enable a good experience
correct,
for WhatsApp interaction.
correct. So you can put lot of logics within it. So you
Mm.
don't have to, your work is basically reduced. It's a one-time setting of the entire CRM. That's all. So you
Yeah.
put logic. If it's yes, let's say flowchart. Let's
Yeah.
imagine a flowchart. If
Yeah.
it's yes, trigger,
Correct. Correct.
this should go to the customer. If it's no, then this
Got
message
it.
should go to the customer. If it's contact
Got
us,
it.
then this message should go to the customer. And what is the action item that should go to my support team? So
Okay.
it is
Yeah.
designed in such a way that, like, you just have to basically monitor how many tickets are
So,
open, how many
so
are closed.
one of the use cases is for events, right? Like in order to manage our RSVPs, right?
Yes,
Another use case is just workflows, right? Around, how to continue the flow, right? Based on a response, right? And
right.
it doesn't matter what it is. It could be events, it could be anything, but you can create workflows, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else, any value add, any other value add that you particularly leverage WhatsApp, what for?
So I have seen is that the use case can also be a response rate and the response rate time. Okay. So
Ah, okay. So tracking analytics.
yes, yes. So you can get exactly how many people viewed your messages, right? How many people
Mhm.
opened your
Yeah,
message, right? So all these
yeah,
analytics and at what time they saw. So in general, you will
yeah.
see the Wati message responsiveness, right? Like how fast they have responded. It's the numbers are more better in Wati than I have seen in any other so far, whatever I have used, other CRM tools.
Got it,
Yeah,
got it.
and we have a lot of logical. So it has also a API. So it can also be connected to your website. your platform, your commerce. It has direct API integrations as well. So it is very, very easy, simple, and also I would say cost effective as well.
Got it. So let's talk about competition for a second. So you mentioned MailChimp. I mean, I know a lot of CRMs now integrate with WhatsApp messaging. I mean, if you're in India, you have to have some integration with WhatsApp messaging. Talk to me a little bit about the experience of trying competitors before, because I'm assuming when it comes to WhatsApp messaging and WhatsApp marketing, was this let me ask you this, was this the first tool that you used and you kind of stuck with it, or did you try others before you came here?
So I did try MailChimp, but MailChimp had its, I was not very, at its own, I would say, restrictions to some point in time. They had little less features than at least that point in time. This is again, I'm saying 3 years back. So that point in time, again, there were not many features or use cases that they were handling that you would all need. So eventually, with Mailchimp also, you would have to use an additional thing to to make it have a better combo to get use of the full requirement that you have. So yeah.
Did you point out one clear distinction between what MailChimp, your experience with MailChimp then, and what WhatsApp Wati does now? Like one example of something that WhatsApp Wati does?
Sure. So again, MailChimp, the template, I would say, right, when you create a template, I think creating a template is little more challenging than you create a template on WhatsApp. Okay. Template as in what messaging are you putting out, right? So plus again, WhatsApp can have a smaller, they have limitation to their words. Okay. Like only these many max words or minimum words you can put in. But again, what I came to know from MailChimp was that, I mean, they don't have any restrictions or help text in those points, right? The second one is basically how you configure your database, how you configure your contact database, right? So I felt it is a little more complicated than how we can do it on again WhatsApp, Wati. So yeah.
So then you left MailChimp, you came to WhatsApp Wati, and this was how long ago?
I think it's been two years now. Yeah.
Okay, and you've kind of stuck with the same product no matter what else is in the marketplace. So that's a good sign. It's
yeah. I think it basically, like I told you, right? WhatsApp has a way to change logics, right?
Yeah.
In terms of how so if you enter any e-commerce platform, right? Just an example. So the way the chatbot interacts with you, right? It gives you a lot of good experience and bad experience, you would feel, right? If a chatbot is reverting you like after 2 minutes, right? You probably would have gone to some other platform by now.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So the prompt, how frequently, right? How frequently the right messaging is coming, right reply is coming, somebody is attending you, right? So all of this matter, the flow shouldn't break, and the best part of the body is that they help you to basically configure the best flows.
Okay. So on that note, can we do a share screen? Can you show us WhatsApp Wati?
Sure, let me try once.
Second. I'd love to know, get a visual sense of, like you said, creating flows or optimizing flows. Analytics was the other thing that you talked about, and of course, templates.
Okay, can you see my screen, Taupsy?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so basically, this is what I was mentioning as analytics, right? So, so you can see, right, like you can select the date and time from here, like a filter it. On a certain time period if you want to see, right? You can see like how many tickets are open, how many solved, right? How many solved by bot, which means like how many are already automated, right? There are a lot of messaging that is automated, right? And which solves the issue of the concern of the person, query of the customer, right? And some are again solved by user, as in again whoever is assigned from your support team manually basically reached out and closed the ticket. This will also give you a stats in terms of a graphical view, a chart view of what has worked. Like let's say my pending from this time to this time period, a lot of things were not pending. Basically, my team performed really well. The customer support was doing great, right? In solving the queries ASAP, closing the
Yeah.
tickets, right? So again, these are all very useful and helpful from a marketer point of view, or from anyone who is running a like mass CRM, right?
Yeah.
So again, you can see total conversations also, right? Initially, like who is it user initiated, or is it like business initiated? So it's more like
Correct.
a internal plus external view of the entire teamwork that is happening.
That is helpful. I can see that be helpful. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, this is one part. Second is, I would say, there is, if you see, there is one. So this is an inbox section, right,
Hmm.
where you can again. So if you see, this is the how the templates goes, right? So hey there, let us know how we can help you. Correct. How can we help you today? And within all services, you can basically give a lot of MCQ like questions, right?
So you're
And
saying MailChimp didn't have these many, didn't have a library of templates in the way that WhatsApp Wati does.
yeah, it didn't had a structure to create your workflows. It's like it is very complicated. So this is like basically a one time investment here. So this you can, when I say logical, it's like you can basically imagine like a flow chart, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like if a person says hi, then you know your flow, you can define your flow that this message should go, right?
Correct. Yes.
Let's say if
Yeah.
somebody, if the software see that I need to connect with your support team if a customer wrote, right? So my software will probably be trained in such a way that if I get a message like I want to connect with my support team or call me, right? Can't figure out. So I will be basically configuring it with those keywords, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
I can also send that particular customized message, right?
Right.
So all these, small things, it might sound, a very small complex, but it actually serves a lot of purpose here
Correct.
because a
It's
lot
just
of work
automating
is
it.
reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So yeah, majorly this is, something that I find it very helpful.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Um, should we? Yeah. There we go. So you adopted this about 2 years ago. You've been using it since then. Is there any aspect of WhatsApp Wati in particular that where it doesn't do the job that well, where it's lacking in something and you wish it had this or it did this slightly differently?
Um, I think the challenge here is that this tool, right? This tool might not be helpful for solving queries from a client's end. So it is, again, I mean, I think it's a B for a B2B. I told you, right? B2B and B2C uses it.
Yes.
But I feel for a B2B, there you cannot. I think this tool won't be lot helpful.
Hmm.
For a B2C, I mean, it's still like I have used it and I tested it, so I know. I don't think so for a small to medium size flow, right? I think this app is perfect. But probably when it comes to a very huge inquiries, like 5,000 inquiries coming in on a single day, right? This app might not be the best solution, right?
Got it. Is this from
So
your own experience that you're saying this? Like you're seeing its limitations?
this is from my own experience.
Yeah.
So from, like I said, small and medium enterprises.
Yeah.
So I think this tool should be really great. But if you,
Got it.
again, the volume of the queries, the volume of the people coming, customers,
Yeah.
reverting, the tickets coming, if it's in a higher note, then it would be a little difficult.
Got it. So what would you, let me ask you this hypothetically, or maybe you have clients where, the volume of tickets is higher. What do you do in that case? If not WhatsApp, what's your next best solution?
So I mean, we so far again have been using. I mean, we couldn't, like, further we didn't find any way. I mean, I think we actually somehow managed from this tool itself.
Hmm.
We broke it down. We basically assigned more agents to it, right?
Hmm.
But I would say, again, in my experience, it wasn't the best one. I mean, we are still figuring it out, like if we want to create our own tool, or we should be looking out for exploring some different partners to it. But yeah, it is again something which is again open right now at this point.
Understood. Okay. So it does the job, but not as well as you would have wanted it to do for that scale. I mean, at that scale.
Yes.
Understood. So, one of the things I told you I would come back to this point, we talked about transparency earlier. So can you tell me, how did this, if you to think about who Juhi is as a growth marketer, does this tool reflect, or how does this tool allow you to incorporate some of your values in that? Which means what's important to you, does the tool kind of align with that? Forget the jobs that it does. I can understand the jobs it does, but at a more higher level.
Yeah. So basically, when I run a project, right? I mean, I go by a thing that, okay, if let's say if I got an inquiry, I am free, I'll definitely close it. Like I'll just reply in another 5-10 minutes, right? Though I have a window of 24 hours, I'm not gonna wait for 24 hours, but I'm gonna revert ASAP. Okay. Now this and for me, it's like the faster you listen to your customer, right? The faster you get back to them, the more trust, the more like you are very prompt with your with your presence, right? The more better the experience is, either for client, either for a B2B, B2C, anywhere. And this tool has actually helped in terms of closing a lot of tickets on time, right? Because I have helped, like this has helped me to monitor in general that how many tickets are at what query, right? Are stuck at what query. So if I know that, okay, this there are probably 100 tickets still open at a technical point of time, right? Where I need to maybe I have to connect with the tech team to get it resolved, right? So I get an idea that, okay, this is becoming a bottleneck for me. So this is a transparency that I'm getting from this tool, right? So if I know I have a support team of 3 folks, all I can assign all of the tasks to 3 team members, right? But I know that this person is probably all are assigned probably of the same volume of tickets, but some are able to close faster, some are able to taking time. All these things can be monitored here, right? So in fact, if you're running a small business on Instagram also, right, there are a lot of pages you will see right now, a lot of small homegrown businesses.
Yes,
correct?
Very much.
Right. So and there are basically logistics and a customer support plays a very important role there. Product you have already done, right? So this tool is like a blessing for a team of 10 people also to work. So it's I think it's that great.
If you could complete the sentence for me, WhatsApp Wati is a great tool for people who want to dash.
For people who want to streamline their workflows, hassle-free. For people who want actually a hassle-free business, I would say.
Okay, awesome. That's a big mandate for hassle-free business. Use WhatsApp Wati, so that's good. I mean, if you're saying it's at that top level. All right. So the only thing that we have left right now is a rapid fire round. Are you ready for that? It'll be very easy. It'll be very painless. I promise you.
Sure. Let's.
Okay. All right.
Do we get any hamper?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to assess all the rapid fires and then pick a winner. Okay. Yes. I'll put that on my list to do, is to pick a winner from the rapid fire.
Sure.
So, name one item on your bucket list.
I don't think so. It's a rapid fire question. My God, one bucket item. It can be anything, right?
Can be anything in the world.
Okay, want to go to mountains again.
Okay, all right. Which social media platform are you most active on?
Instagram.
Okay. Do you own a vehicle?
Yes.
What do you own?
2-wheeler and a 4-wheeler, but I use 2-wheeler more. It's Bangalore, so I just feel 2-wheeler is better.
Good choice. And what 2-wheeler and what 4-wheeler is this?
So 2-wheeler is a Suzuki Access and the 4-wheeler is a Swift.
Okay. And last question, what comes to mind when I say happy?
I mean, friends and
Okay.
food. Friends, two things actually.
Friends and food. Friends, F square. Friends and food. Done. That was it. Juhi, this was absolutely amazing. I learned a lot about a tool that I imagine any business owner in India, if they don't already know about it, they should know about it, especially if they're small and medium, like you said. So thank you for sharing your insights on how you've been leveraging that yourself. And before we go, I want to just ask you, is there anything else that you want to share about the tool and your experience with it that we have not already covered?
I think mostly we have covered enough, but I would just like to add. I have seen a lot of. I have seen my experience also that if I'm not getting a reply from a customer support, which I'm actually very mad for things not happening in a right way, right? Then I feel that okay, I have my word of mouth, right? I now person is socially active and can write a lot of reviews. Reviews matters a lot. A rating matters a lot nowadays. Though I mean, it's word of mouth also matters a lot of days. So let's say if basically I want to point out is that having a great customer support is very important. So I think the businesses should invest a lot more if they aren't a lot more on having the right set of tool for their customer support for customer queries. It is actually the trust that you're building. A lot of businesses have been grown from probably a size of 10 to 50 because of a good customer support.
Good
The
customer support.
customers returning are very important. The customers going happy are very important. The customers getting answered is very important. So I
Okay.
think that is a, yeah, that's
Thank you
something
for
to.
those words of advice. And now it makes sense, why to like WhatsApp Wati. I mean, in this context, it makes a lot of sense that this is where, as someone who's managing this at the back end, you can monitor this and create a more optimized experience in order to build brand goodwill, right? Because that's what especially small businesses want, and that's the back on which they will grow. So, Juhi, once again, thanks so much. I know it's a Saturday. I really appreciate your time on a Saturday to do this. And yeah, have a good rest of the weekend.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Lapsi. It was nice talking to you, and yeah, I actually enjoyed the session more than it's
I
actually.
told you. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a wonderful Saturday.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.